everyone, it's Abby B, and today I'm going to be telling some childhood stories. I have picked out 4 of them. It's really hot outside, so I decided to put my hair in braids. I have my story topics written on these little pieces of index card. So basically, by my old house, there was this really big hill, and it doesn't look that intimidating, so I decided to try to ride down it. And I was going so fast that I kind of lost control of the bike. My hand started going like this because I couldn't really control the bike. And there was this street coming up on my right, I believe. So I grabbed the handlebars super tight and I go like, ah! And I ended up turning safely onto the street. But there was a huge panic in my head and then overwhelming relief once I was safely on the street, and I'm like, I am not going down that hill again, and I don't think I went down that hill again. So when I was younger, I went to a couple of babysitters. One of these babysitters was an old lady, and she was taking care of 2 of her granddaughters, and also me and my brother. And also my brother and I. Okay, I'm going to give some backstory. When I was younger, I didn't know what transgender was. I just thought a girl was born a girl and a boy was born a boy, and I think at that point I knew kind of like what tomboys were, but I didn't know that there were people who were born as girls or boys and identified as the opposite gender. Keep in mind, at this time, I did not know anything about transgender. So there was this one girl, and she would always say, I'm a boy, or like, I'm a boy, and I would be like, no you're not, you're a girl. And I would always correct her. I would be like, no, you're a girl. This one's kind of funny now that I look back on it. My mom went to beauty school for a bit and then she dropped out for reasons that weren't her fault. So my mom ended up going to beauty school for a little while. So she used to be the one to cut our hair because going to a hairdresser was apparently too much work for my young self. And I was just like, Mom, can you please cut my hair? And it was probably one of those situations where I thought I said not to cut off too much hair, but it was a lot. I was probably like, can you cut off this much? And so my mom did, and I was like, it's too short. So there was one time. So I was a dramatic child. I could be very dramatic as a child sometimes. So my mom cuts my hair super short, maybe like down to here maybe. It was very short, and I remember looking in the mirror and I screamed, like full on blood curdling scream. It was very short, and I literally like screamed like out of a horror movie when you're about to die. So I thought that was a funny story. And I remember going out in public and like wearing a hoodie with hood up because I didn't like my super short hair. I just remembered another story, and now that I put this little card here over there and I finished the story, I was like, I should probably tell the story that I remember next, and I forgot it. Of course. Also, as a child, I was very sensitive. I'm also very sensitive now. When I was younger, one time my stepbrother had a friend over, and I was hanging out with them, and my little brother was there too. And then, basically, my stepbrother's friend said, wow, you're such a tomboy. And I didn't know what that meant. So I got so offended, I started crying. I went to my mom, and I was like, she called me a tomboy. And my mom was just like, that just means you act like a boy sometimes. And I was like, okay. Like on Smosh Games, there's this guy named Lasercorn, and he has like a laser stare. I want to see if I can do it. Ready, go. Okay, I didn't see that out of my regular vision, but I saw it out of my peripheral vision. That was creepy. That was so creepy. let you guys know, I bought this for $5. And that's kind of expensive for lipstick because I usually only spend about $1. Some people are like, I spent $25 on lipstick. No, for me $5 is expensive. But I'm pretty sure this one was $1. So I don't spend a lot of money on makeup. So basically, I bought this for $5, and that's expensive to me because this one is about $1. I'm pretty sure I got it at like the 99-cent store or the Dollar Tree or something, and I'm wearing it right now, and it actually looks pretty good. So, say what you want about cheap makeup. You can't say it doesn't look good. Actually, you can. Never mind. But $5 is expensive, especially since I work a minimum wage job where I get about $10 an hour. So those people who spend like $25 on lipstick, they are probably either very passionate about makeup or they're rich. So those are the only two options in my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, I used this 3 times. So basically, I take this thing off. I go like this. And I'm not going to notice how I'm not turning it anymore. Because what happened was I turned it all the way. I don't remember why I turned it all the way. And it just fell on the floor. Excuse me? I'm sorry. Let's look at this dollar kind right here. Look. Didn't fall on the floor. And it is 1/5 of the price of this. Let that sink in. Oh, I have a funny story. This isn't really a childhood story. This happened maybe 1 or 2 years ago. So not too long ago. And it was when I was in high school. So at my high school, like every year, they would have a hypnotist come to campus and do a show like after school. And actually, I don't remember if it was every year, but that doesn't really matter. So, senior year, I went to this show. So eventually he's like, okay, everyone who wants to be hypnotized, come onto the stage. So, I go onto the stage. I sit in the chair. I do everything this guy tells me to do. And then he says, by the time I get to 0, you will be hypnotized. Or you should be hypnotized, or something like that. So he said, by the time I get to 0, you should be hypnotized. And with me and my personality, that makes me panic. So as he's counting down from 10, I get so anxious because I'm not going unconscious like you're supposed to do when you're hypnotized. So I was panicking. And you know, some people stay on the stage and just play along. Like, they'll act like they're hypnotized, but they aren't really. I didn't do that. I didn't want to do that. So he was like, oh, the people who are hypnotized. Yeah. And so I walked off the stage unhypnotized because when he started counting down, I panicked and was like, what if I'm not unconscious by the time he gets to 0? So it's really hot over here. I'm probably gonna lay down right in front of a fan. Bye!